Good morning, sir.
Good morning,
Good
sir.
morning.
Good morning.
Sir, good morning to you all. I welcome all of you once again. I am your little Sergeant Rao TB speaking to you from Andhra Pradesh. So I feel so blessed. I got received so many blessings for my small video that I released the other day when I was speaking to a Millennials Club kind of thing. Today's war hero is our Wing Commander Dinesh Chander Nayyar VrC, retired. So he is already on the call. So he was kind enough to accept and come and speak to or share his experience during 1971 war. He was then a flight lieutenant at the time of war, and he was commissioned in Indian Air Force in 1964 December 25th and retired on 21st May 1986. That is after 22 years. Joined in 25th NDA course and 91 flying pilot course, and he served in different capacities, including as a flying instructor and a big squadron commanding officer and all other and he had also some foreign assignments in USA for some time. So for his bravery during the Indo-Pak 71 operations, he was awarded Veer Chakra for his gallantry and devotion to duty and his professional skills. So now he is on the call. Let's all welcome him with a big thunderous applause. Welcome, Wing Commander Dinesh Nayyar, sir. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Welcome, sir.
Should I start?
Yeah. Please, sir. Please
We
start.
have spoken on trial basis. We have spoken on trial basis day before yesterday. So
Yes, sir.
as well as Rao, they know most of the things that we talked about day before. One thing that in 85,
Sir.
1985, I was sent on deputation to Air India,
Yes,
and
sir.
therefore it was a continuation of service, and we were absorbed in Air India, and the service was counted all the way through till we left Air India, retired from Air India at the age of 3. So till
Okay, sir.
then it was a continuation of service.
Right, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now,
So,
yeah.
yeah, you continued in Air India on observation. After 1 year deputation, you were observed into Air India. Thereafter, you gave service until 2009. So, we salute your flying career,
Service was
sir.
counted all the way.
Yes, sir. Excellent service and a flying career in the Indian Air Force and Air India, sir. We salute to
No,
you.
and then even Air India didn't leave us, though we retired. They were short of pilots, and they of 98. In 99, we were till the age of 65. We could have continued, but in 99, I had a medical problem. I had a heart attack, bypass surgery. Therefore, I had to leave flying altogether.
Okay.
That was the end of flying. Anyway,
Okay,
to
sir.
cut the
Okay,
long
sir.
story short, let's
Yes,
get
sir. Now,
back to 71.
let us now start your career from the starting point, sir, into Indian Air Force. So,
Oh,
initially,
that
you
way.
were.
No, actually, if we talk about Indian Air Force starting point from 1964
Yes, sir.
December,
Yes, sir.
we were sent to Klaikunda near Khadagwasla,
Yes,
near
sir.
Kharagpur.
Yes,
That
sir.
is in east. Then we were pilot officers because those days there was a rank called pilot officer. Nowadays it does not exist.
Yes, sir.
And then after about 6 months, I think, somewhere in August, at that time there was a program going on between many countries, and USA was hosting pilots from some 25, 30 countries to do the free training with them, armament training, air to air and air to ground. So I was one of those. In the last batch, we were sent in 65 August or September to USA, and it so happened in 65 September the war broke out with Pakistan, and that aid program stopped altogether, finished forever. And but we had already been sent from our bases via air headquarters briefings and passports and all that foreign exchange of some $8 we were given those days and the like. So then we spent 6 months training in USA, flying initially aircraft called T-33,
Yes, sir.
and then we went over to that base was in Texas Randolph. Then from there we went over to an air base called Nellis Air Force Base, which is near Las Vegas,
Yes, sir.
and that is where we did conversion onto Sabre
Right.
aircraft,
Okay.
famous Sabre aircraft which Pakistan had those
Yes, sir.
days.
Okay. Now, why were you trained in
So
Sabre, sir? India doesn't have Sabre aircraft that point of time.
no, because that is the aircraft America was training all the
Pilots.
countries pilots. So
Yes,
we
sir.
were also part of it. As a matter of fact, there were Pakistani pilots also, Irani pilots, Iraqi pilots. It just so happened that Pakistani pilots did not come because of the war. They got stopped in August,
Yes,
but
sir.
we just made it to USA that time. That's what
Okay.
happened.
How long were you there in US?
Total 6 months.
6
Six
months.
months.
Okay. Okay, sir.
And you will be surprised. We were young enough. We were crossing from age of 20 to 21.
Right, sir.
So for the first 3 months or 4 months, you will not believe it. In a restaurant and all that, we could not even get a. So if we went to a restaurant or a bar and we asked for a beer, they said, sorry, show your ID card. And we were not 21, so we were not allowed. We had to have a glass of milk. Would you
Okay.
believe it? So that is how it was. And then after January, I crossed my 21 years. I made it to past January for
Sir,
last.
yes,
So
sir.
then we were all, I mean, we stayed on for till I think July.
Sir.
And then we came back to India. And then we were posted to different units
Yes, sir.
by Air Headquarters, PHS.
Okay, sir.
And so I was sent to Pathankot,
Okay.
and we flew. I joined Mr. Squadron 31.
Okay, sir.
So the 31 squadron, there were actually more than I think 4 or 5 squadrons of Misters, two in Ambala, two in Pathankot, and I don't know where else. But 31 was the only squadron which was called PR squadron. Others were normal fighter bomber squadrons.
Okay.
We were fighter bomber PR squadron because our aircraft used to carry 3 cameras, two oblique cameras and one belly camera. So we could
Sir,
do
what do you mean by PR, sir? PR.
photo recce.
Ah, yeah, photo. Yes.
So 31 squadron out of all the Mr. Squadron was the only squadron which could do photo recce. So we were a PR squadron. And so even if there was an attack carried out, if you did another turnaround or the guy behind you could photograph the damage, etc.
Okay.
Or if we miss the target, whichever way.
Acha, acha.
So
Now, what were the aircraft in which you were trained, sir? Your training was which aircraft?
in Pathankot 31 Squadron, Mr. 4A.
Okay, sir.
It was a French aircraft. It was underpowered
Okay, sir.
compared to Hunter and all that. Hunter was far more powerful aircraft.
Okay, sir.
Mr. was underpowered, but Mr. was advanced in different ways. For example, it had only power control aircraft.
Okay, sir.
That if something went wrong with the power control system, the aircraft controls froze. It could not be reverted to manual flying.
Okay, sir.
Whereas Hunter could go to manual flying. So like that, there were differences. And that is why actually pilots who were not trained, who did not do flying in USA, after flying vampires, pilots were sent to aircraft called Tufanis.
Tufanis, yes. Okay.
Tufani aircraft, yeah. From there, they had to come to Misters. But we jumped Tufanis because we had flown power controlled aircraft in USA. So we were sent directly to Misters. How it was.
Yes. Okay, sir.
And then, of course, my famous and favorite aircraft from Misters in 1970, no, 1968, sorry. First Su-7 squadron was formed in Adampur, 68.
Yes, sir. Okay.
And these, I think some 10 odd pilots trained in Russia came from Russia, and the squadron was formed in Adampur. And there were 8 of us were supposed to join from India itself, but 5 of our pilots could not make that high performance supersonic test for medical test, clear it.
Okay,
so
sir.
3 of us cleared and we joined them.
Okay,
so
sir.
that was the original crew lot. And within a month, I think, month or 2 months, another lot of 8 pilots from Russia came and joined. And squadrons expanded very fast. First was 26. Within no time, maybe in 2 months' time or 3 months' time, 101 was formed in Adampur.
Okay.
Second squadron. Then another 2-3 months. So spent 2 years in Misters in Pathankot. Then we were sent to Adampur and we formed the first Sukhoi Squadron, 26 Squadron under Wing Commander Mini Baba.
Right, sir.
And there were we had five squadron leaders then. Then squadron leader Sridharan, now Air Commodore Sridharan retired. Squadron leader Jaffa, who's no more, he died some time back, who was also a POW in 71.
Oh, sir. Okay, sir. Yes.
Squadron leader Jiva Singh, he also died in 71 war. Then squadron leader, I think Banerjee for a short while. Squadron leader Hariharan.
Sir.
And that's it. Then, of course, your famous Flight Lieutenant Dilip Parulkar, who's also in Pune.
Okay. Was he with you, sir?
Yes, we were in Pathan and Adhampur together. He came from Russia, trained pilot on Su-7.
The Pururkal, sir, who was POW in Pakistan along with all our Gareval, sir.
Yes, and Grewal. Grewal also joined the same squadron with
Okay.
us.
Great. Okay.
Grewal, this guy, and there were more. Then Flight Lieutenant Pandit and Flight Lieutenant Pant, so many of us.
Okay,
And
sir.
Air Commodore Agte was the air officer commanding.
Yes, sir.
Because Adhampur was the very first, second base in the Air Force, I think, which became air officer commanding.
Okay.
Otherwise, it used to be group captain commanding, but first one was Agra because it was a huge base with lot of packet squadrons and God knows how many pilots. And
Okay, sir.
then
Now, sir, before 71 war started, where were you posted, sir?
I was in Rambram doing my flying instructor's course.
Yes, sir.
From there, in when the war clouds started hovering over India, then they started preparing and getting everybody ready, and our signals came that when we are told to go, keep packed and ready. So my name was to go to Bareilly to 221 squadron, because from Adhampur, after 2 years in Adhampur, I was, as it is, sent to Bareilly 221 squadron. So I had come from my FIS course from Bareilly.
Okay, sir. So again, you went
So
back to Bareilly, sir?
I went back to Bareilly,
Sir.
and then it's blow hot, blow cold was going on between
India and Pakistan.
India and Pakistan for a while.
Sir.
So 3-4 times we took our aeroplanes to Panagarh. War location was Panagarh.
Sir.
That is north of Dum Dum, Calcutta.
Okay, sir.
And then they'll say, no, come back. So we'll fly our aeroplanes back to
Okay.
Bareilly. So like
Sir.
that, it happened 2-3 times. And then by November, and there was no accommodation for us. So there was an old hangar.
Yes, sir.
So what they had done was, in old hangar, they had, constructed, like in the offices nowadays you have walls.
Yes, sir.
So only walls and no roof. Roof was hangar only.
Acha, okay.
So in that there were walls made, so it looked like working station, but those were our, call it cabins, rooms, whatever.
Yes, sir.
So, and similarly our mess was in a bigger space, so-called mess and bar. That's it.
Sir.
And it was just and from there we took part. Then it's obviously before 3rd of December we did some recce's and all that. 3rd December we started actually doing operational flying, but before that in Panagarh, whole of November we were shuttling between Panagarh and Bareilly.
Okay, sir.
3 times. In the meanwhile, practicing front gun firing and rocket firing and practicing all that, bombing, all that was going on.
Yes, sir.
And there is a firing range between Calcutta and Panagarh called Guzgundi.
Guzgundi.
So we were we were practice firing with the bombs, guns and rockets at Guzgundi till the things. That was whole of November we spent doing that. And then, of course, in November itself, we also did recce sorties between Panagarh, Dum Dum, Klaikunda, because our alternate was to be Dum Dum, or if we had more fuel, we could even go to Klaikunda.
Okay. Sir, I think, as per citation, so you were involved in 11 sorties during that war, sir. 11
something like 11 or 12 sorties, something like that.
Sir.
Operational sorties.
Sir.
And there was, which was, Dacca was only, I think, 2, because by the time Dacca also came, because there were hunter squadrons flying from north. I don't know which base they were based. So then we flew many other places, like there was army headquarters of theirs. We had to destroy. It was called some Janida Brigade headquarters. Then there was a Magura ferry wagons. Then there was I told you, yeah, the day before also there were trains full of
Yeah,
ammo.
I may remind you of the citation. You may just, with your permission, sir. So I'll just read out that for 1 minute. During the operations against Pak in December 71, Flight Lieutenant Dinesh Chander Nayyar was serving with a fighter bomber squadron in the eastern sector. He flew 11 missions during the conflict. On his first encounter air mission over Dacca Air Field, he was shot by an enemy Ack Ack guns. So you were fired by enemy Ack Ack guns, and your aircraft was riddled with bullets. So many bullets. I think it took 1 week for repair part of it, maintenance part. So can you say something on that, sir? How you were shot at during that by Ack Ack, and how you steered again back to air base? That experience. There, sir.
Either on the first operational mission. Then Dhawan, who later on took over 108 Squadron in Bareilly, and he was so nice. I was number two. I'm only a flight lieutenant. He was senior squadron leader. So I just told him, sir, meters. So that when the engine flames out, I will have enough height to eject. And we were covering each other's tail and clearing. And then we said we will not go to Panagarh. We'll straight go to Dam because that is closer. And we made it before my engine did not flame out. My engine did not flame out.
Okay, sir.
So it was so that is when I stepped out of the aircraft. I came out.